For more on the anti-Semitic attacks that we've seen this morning in Sydney, joining me live is Jewish advocate and member of the Sydney Jewish community, Marnie Perlstein. Marnie, thanks so much for your time this morning. Tell us, what was your reaction when you heard that there had been another anti-Semitic attack in Sydney?
I am devastated to hear about this particular attack. I mean, Jewish people have woken up every morning, day after day, particularly over the last month, to these kinds of attacks. But this one felt very personal. I lived in Dover Heights for 12 years. I have many, many friends living there, and this feels like it's very close to home.
And we have also heard this morning confirmation that the home that was targeted in this attack was a former home, rather, of Alex Rifchin. How does that make you feel, knowing that this was quite a targeted attack?
It makes me really upset. I mean, as a Jewish advocate and someone who puts themselves out there every single day to talk about anti-Semitism in Australia and to talk about Israel, it's really scary to think that there could be targeted attacks on people like Alex or people like me who are just simply standing up for the rights of our community.
And are the broader Jewish community concerned for their safety at this time?
I think that we are a resilient and a very connected and strong community. But I have to say that when these attacks happen day after day, it is very concerning, and people do feel very worried and afraid. And I mean, the Australian Federal Police have revealed that there are 100 attacks on Jews that are being investigated that have happened just in the last month. So we are feeling on edge, and we are really upset about this escalation.
And we've heard this morning the government condemning this attack, as well as the others that we've seen in previous days and weeks. Are they doing enough to stamp out this, do you think?
Well, we just heard Tony Burke talk about people waiting to feel the full force of the law, but why has it taken the Australian government 15 months to even threaten the full force of the law? This could have happened months and months ago, starting from the night on the steps of the Opera House, when Australians would have known that our government intended to really act swiftly and decisively, and that has not happened. So enough has not happened over the last 15 months, and that's allowed the situation that we see ourselves in now.
And do those words coming from Tony Burke, that condemning the anti-Semitism and saying that the perpetrators will face the full force of the law, does that make you feel any safer?
No, because that we keep hearing these kind of hollow promises from the government at every level, from federal level, from state level, even with Allegra Spender, who you spoke to before, in the seat of Wentworth. Every time there's an attack, we hear the same thing. We hear the apologies, we hear the concerns, we hear that there'll be action. And yet we have seen no change, no decisive change in arrests, no decisive change in laws. So it does not make me feel any better to hear these comments from politicians.
What sort of action would you like to see taken?
I would like to see a change in government, and a government that really is concerned about the Jewish community, that is concerned about Australian values overall, because this is not just an attack on Jewish Australians. This is an attack on Australian values across the board. I would like to see a government that takes very clear and decisive action on these issues and creates an atmosphere where there are complete deterrents for anyone thinking about carrying out these kind of crimes.
All right, Marnie Perlstein, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.